What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. That's right, you are looking at the roadmap for the rest of the year, and oh my god, did the devs ever cook. Now, before we even start with all the cooking and the barbecuing, here are the codes that you guys are here for. So there are 4 codes right there that they provided us. SLC26 code, D3CUD, let's go with a 0 SLV, and HOOLIDAY with an extra Y at the end. If you put all of these codes in, you should get the following things coming your way. The first code will give, or the last code should give you guys 30 of these Ruin Selection chests, 250 of these amplification agents, 1,000 essence stones, 3,000 of the lower tier mana crystals, 10 of these abyss crystals, 100 of the transcendence, or sorry, not transcendence, the trace of shadows, and 5 million gold. And then the first one will give you guys the following 10 custom tickets, which you should, by the way, save because they're reducing the custom to 3 instead of 4. We got ourselves some artifact enhancement reset tickets and 500 essence stones. Now, or sorry, essence stones, artifact stones. Before I go any further though, guys, I want to remind everybody, content creator program going on. We have more codes. This code has now been approved, so I'll be sending all the supporters this code. The second code will be submitted right here for this specific video, and not to mention free codes for the entire season. So guys, if you haven't done so, it's in every single description, pinned in every single comment. Go click that support. It's absolutely free. I'll be sending you guys codes throughout the entire thing. So let's talk about what they cooked here and what is going to probably be some of the biggest deals. Some of the bad stuff as well too we'll talk about. So let's go into it. Here is the agenda. So there was the agenda of going through the events, Q&A, December 18th update, etc. So event news, the SLC tournament is going down. That's right, there will be a new one that will pertain to all the best top BOT players. The only thing to remember though is that last time they chose top 8. This time apparently they're only choosing top 3 from each region. So guys, it's going to narrow down a lot of the people who can join. So this is the schedule here. You can see it starts on the 25th of December, goes on till the 26th of January. Then the other online is from February to the 12th of March. And this is the international leagues. Then the finalists will be confirmed here. Total of 6 players, 3 players from each league versus 8. It was 8 before. And then 425 is when there will be officially the actual tournament. So SLC will be going on. Q&A was okay. There wasn't really much to talk about. So we're going to skip Q&A a little bit and go right into some of the more fun things, the more fun details and stuff that they talked about. So codes, we don't have to worry about that. So let's talk about Kamish's new storyline. All right, so this is going to be a story and then also a raid. All right, so good news is the raid is like Fakna. He does look a little bit small for a dragon. He's about the same size as Fakna, surprisingly. He should have been the biggest dragon they've introduced. That's kind of the downfall for animation purposes, but overall, it looks great. Yes, the story will include, in fact, LIU. There he is in all of his glory, and he is coming out in June. Officially announced in June. And we're getting a second national level hunter. We're getting 3 national level hunters this year. We're getting Christopher Reed, or I guess not technically Christopher is this year, but next year we're getting 2. We're getting Antoine, who was the healer during this raid, and then we're getting ourselves LIU. So the Kamish raid, in fact, will be available. It'll be a co-op event, but there's also a story that goes along with this, so you guys can read the story when it's out and kind of understand what they had to struggle through in order to be Kamish. And this story will be available in the game this update. So you guys can see Christopher Reed doing a special right there, providing his ultimate, and we'll see more about Christopher Reed very shortly. And then they will do the full story of Kamish, how he raided, how he joined, how he almost destroyed the entire, I guess, USA practically, and then also his death in the hands of all of the national level hunters. So a lot really to bring here. A couple other things as well too. They've extended the hidden story chapters, so now they're going further into the story as well for Rock Passa. So there'll be more content coming our way. There'll be hard mode and reverse hard mode introduced as well, and they're going to also up the rewards for each of those. So which means more essence stones, more resources, more rewards coming our way, including more content. All right, so that's going to be there. A brand new weapon called the Illusion Blade is being introduced. This looks like the SR Dragon Sword with truth. Animations look insane. They look absolutely insane. Super, super quick. Looks very Virgil-like. So we're looking at insane speed. It's going to be a crit rate weapon. So keeping that in mind. And it is also a light weapon. And they did say something that was interesting. They said a lot of people are complaining that we're getting nothing but swords. And they like to do sword weapons because they like the speed of them and the aesthetics. But they're going to try to switch it up a bit and give him new weapons. But you guys can see this weapon, in fact, does cook. And it's called the Illusion Blade. And it might be a guild only weapon. Speaking of guilds, new content coming for guilds in, I think, the month of March or April. So here we go. Brand new extended battle tier all the way to tier 100 is going to be introduced as well. You guys can see we can go all the way up to the tier 100, which I think is over 4.5 million power. Who knows? If anybody hits that, please let me know in the comment section if you have. I don't think my pay to win is there or anywhere near there, but I'm assuming eventually people will start hitting that, and some people are probably almost close to that right now as it is. So brand new battle tier is introduced, and proof of the strong Valtier is also being introduced. You guys can see level 5, we're at 3.425 million power to get that done. The boss deals powerful damage to shields. The boss gains the defense penetration effect. So it looks like he's going to be hitting way harder than before. So it looks like we're getting ourselves insane amount of things coming our way in regards to difficulties. So this is Christopher Reed as a hunter. Now, a couple things to note. He is going to be a brand new class called a stacker. That's the translation in Korean, where he's going to be a faster overdrive or elemental infusion or elemental charge character, right? So you guys can see here, he does have an ultimate, which looks like a freaking massive spirit bomb. And he also does transform. It looks like his transformation happens at a certain point. I'm not sure where. You can see the transformation happens right there. Now, he does have a bar in the middle of the screen or right above his maybe not middle, maybe a little bit lower, but you'll see it later on in a fight where he does in fact transform when that bar is full. So I think his transformation happens then. So it has nothing to do with his ultimate like Thomas. So he will transform in midway of the battle or sometime during the battle. And yes, his role is to make the new elemental charge happen much faster. That's been confirmed, and he is a brand new class. Another thing to note about him, people noticed he doesn't crit in the video, but we noticed that many units don't crit. So I don't think he's a non-crit unit. If he is a non-crit unit, that'll be a laughable thing. So hopefully that's not the case. But you guys can see here he's fighting Kamish and a little bit more action from Christopher Reed himself. So look forward to that character, guys. And yes, he has a football. Yes, he has a robe. Yes, he's very Americanized. But this is what people are talking about right here. You guys can see the infusion right there. He speeds it up. Everybody can get the infusion going, but Christopher Reed has it more. Is a little bit quicker. You guys can see that bar I'm referring to, right? Right over here. You'll see the bar right there, like that. It's right above like the status bar, but you guys can see he's already transformed there. But I believe, let's see if we can find a time where he's not transformed. Right there. See when that's, well, yeah, there you go. So that is when he transforms. He transforms once that bar is full, and I'm assuming that bar to build, you probably have to do his skills in order to build it for his transformation to happen. Probably during the transformation phase, just a much stronger character overall, okay? You guys see some of the animation, very close quarter combat. There's the overload. And then, of course, once overload goes, they go into an overload state, which means you'll do more damage with specific element that you've overloaded with. You can see there, he does not break, so he's not a breaker, guys. Looks like he's going to be a DPS support. People saying he's a skip. I think he's going to be a must-have personally. We don't know yet. We haven't seen the skills. I just think with like guild bosses and stuff, if you're big on that on POD and any new content where there's, you know, an elemental fusion or elemental charge element to it, he's going to probably be the king of it. And yes, he will stack it much quicker than everybody else. All right, so that's what his role is, and that's what they're expecting us to pretty much look at. So the class reform is happening as well. There's now strikers, which are going to be your typical DPS. There's now breakers, which will be your breakers, and then there's going to be supporters. So they're just renaming the classes. They used to be tank, mage, etc. They're now renaming it to striker, breaker, supporter, and then I'm assuming stacker will be the new class that they're introducing for Christopher Reed, right? So keep that in mind, guys. New classes coming with renames. That's the main thing to take away from that is just renames. Also, a new growth system coming in called Hunter Co-op Training. This has nothing to do with co-op. It's just name that. So essentially, you pick an element, and then within that element, you get the classes. So there's the stacker, the striker, the breaker, and the support. And then you can put more stats into those classes, and then giving you more power, essentially, right? You guys can see here, look, he's going to do the next power goes to 6,130, etc. That looks like precision, and you can see everybody here in that class got that power up. So very important to note that this is going to be a new growth system for you to take advantage of. All right. Speaking of growth, new Shadow Guard improvements will be done as well too for Enforcer. Brand new Overseer library with a new difficulty coming in with more rewards, and then a secret library limb Tegu is going to be coming out as well. And then also the improvements here, they are changing the number of custom draw slots to 3 instead of 4, so save all of your black tickets. Improvement of Battlefield of Time, they're going to give a practice mode, and we're going to be able to purchase free skins on 1218 to 114. They're probably going to give us about 3 like last time. So for those who are free to play, you're going to be able to get some free skins. For those who are pay to win, easy way to get other skins as well for you while the game is going on. So there you guys go. That's a pretty big one. Kamish raid here, you guys can see this is what the raid was going to look like. So you are going to have co-op mode or solo mode, and you're going to pick a hunter of 3. Looks like he's weak to every element except for wind. Wind looks like the only one not in there. So every element is going to be available for this except for wind. And so the Kamish fight is in fact going to be broken up in several different phases. It's going to be like Fakna. So one phase will be just the regular fight. Second phase is going to be a break phase where you're going to have to break his... it looks like his nails, and then the third phase is going to be these little crystals you have to break as well. So as the phase goes on, different elements of the phase will happen, and if you don't break these on time, he does this massive AoE. You can see there's the break phase that I'm referring to, where you have to, it looks like his nails or his arms or his wings or something, but gun, he does in fact break it there. So different elements to this fight. Very excited for this, and this comes out this actual patch. We don't know if this is a permanent event, guys. This might just be temporary. So just so you are aware, take advantage of it while it's here. Okay, so there's the Kamish fight right there. So we got that one. And this is PvP. All right, so PvP will be automated, guys. All right, this is coming out in January. So it's more strategic team building PvP, and then you have an energy system in the bottom, which allows you to do different tactics as the captain of the PvP team, which is either buffing your units, healing them, giving them more power, etc. Right, doing debuffs on your opponents, like this one gave him a shield, etc. So PvP is not going to be live combat PvP, guys. As it stands right now, it's going to be an automated PvP, just kind of like Bleach Brave Souls. So very similar to that if you play that, or you know, every other gacha on the planet. So PvP in January will be a event. It might not be permanent. So we'll see what they do with that. So that's PvP in a nutshell. Many people are disappointed. A new holiday event will be happening. You guys can see new costumes. Yes, Thomas is Santa Claus. Christopher Reed has a costume. And then Soren has her costume as well. You guys can see their costumes in action right now. And honestly, I have to say the costumes look really, really nice. The question people are going to ask, are these free? I have no idea. There is an event and a login event that's happening, but we don't know if the login event gives you the costumes. You can see there's a lot of different things here, but I see just these. This is artifacts. These are icons, etc. But I don't see anything costume related for that. So you might see some pay to win costumes. Even the login doesn't seem to possess that either. Okay. Hunter class loyalty event. This is crazy. We're going to be given 4 free hunters and 8 exclusive weapons, guys. And if you need to see that anywhere, it actually literally says it down here. Can achieve total 4 hunters and 8 exclusive weapons for free. So that's going to be big. Plus, they're going to give us more level achievement rewards for everybody to go back and get. So you get some legendary rune skills, some transcendent stones plus runes, and then another blessing one here, plus some weapons to choose from. And not to mention free rewards just by logging in. 100 transcendent stone, blessing stone chest, other rewards along the way. And at the end of day 6, we're going to be getting a legendary blessing stone selection chest as well. And then this is the roadmap, guys. So Igris, with his real name, PvP event. And you guys can see February, we have a new story, plus Rock Passa, Monarch of Steel, plus the preliminaries. In March, we have Sugimoto, who replaces Goto in his guild, an event dungeon, Hunter team mode, April Fool's event, and new content and new shadows with an S. New shadows. April, we have Antoine for National Level Hunter SLC Finals, new weapon, renewal, the gate. And then we have ourselves May, which is going to be the new story, the Monarch of Frost. And yes, they did spoil it, Gogun, he's death. Simulation Gate, Sunjinu mode, a new guild content. So Simulation Gate's going to get an SJW mode this time. And then yes, LIU has been announced for the month of June. And then a brand new Workshop Brilliant Light Rock Passa, which is probably the hard mode. And then the Monarch of the Beginning, Legaia, is introduced. And there is a look at Igris, who's going to have his real name eventually introduced as well. There you guys go. Full summary. Please don't forget to subscribe, support your boy, leave a like. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.